Hello YouTube, it's me, William Thrower. I'm back again. I'd like to share my thoughts and opinions on some of the stuff that's going on in the world on today's episode. I'd like to start with the events of January the 6th, 2021. As you guys know, we've lost the Senate now. Georgia elected Democrat senators, and that flips the Senate blue. So we've lost the Senate. We've been done lost the House. We haven't been in control of the House in a while now. And we're probably getting ready to lose the White House, most likely. It's very unfortunate. You guys know by now I'm definitely a Trump supporter. I think very highly of Mr. Trump, both personally and politically. I like Trump. I've been a Trump supporter. I like to say that I was the original Trump supporter because I remember watching episode 1 of season 1 of The Apprentice back in 2004 and just watching how Donald Trump acted during the show and how his mind worked and how he spoke and presented himself. And I thought to myself, that guy would make a great president. And you know, all these years later, it turns out I was right. He was a great president, and I wish we could get 4 more years of him. You know, maybe he will run again in 2025 or 2024, and I hope he gets a second term still. We've only had one other president to serve 2 unconsecutive terms. Maybe Trump will do it as well. And I'd also like to say that Joe Biden, I see him as being nothing more than another Jimmy Carter. There's really no doubt in my mind, especially if the Green New Deal goes through. If this Green New Deal, as they call it, is passed, you can expect to see gas prices go between $10 and $15 a gallon at the pump, possibly even higher. It's going to cripple the economy. People are going to be driving less, spending less. It's not even going to be a good deal for the oil companies because people will just buy hybrid cars and things of that nature. And the oil companies, they might see a profit increase for a few quarters or even a year, but people will be selling off their cars and going over to hybrid and things of that nature. So in the end, it's not going to be a good deal for those guys either. You know, and there's no doubt, we all know this, Joe Biden's going to pack the Supreme Court as well as probably federal courts. And so he's going to be like Carter, a court packing Carter, so to speak. And he's also a scapegoat because Kamala Harris, at some point in time, I'm pretty sure, is going to end up being president. I think when Nancy Pelosi tried to use the 25th Amendment to get Trump out, or threatened to use the 25th Amendment to say that he was unfit for office, to tell you the truth, I think that was really just a dress rehearsal for getting Biden out of the way so that Kamala Harris can be president, because you guys got to understand, nobody likes Joe Biden. Even if you voted for Joe Biden, chances are you don't actually like him. You just think that he's less bad than Trump if you're not a Trump fan. But I'm going to tell you this. Joe Biden, if you support Joe Biden, when gas goes to $12 or $15 a gallon, I want you to come back and leave a comment section below this video and let me know if you still think he's a good president. Just let me know. I'm curious. Can you pay $12 or $15 a gallon for gas and still think that the guy who sent the price that high is a good president? I would really like to know the answer to that. I'd also like to say I'm very proud of South Korea. They are standing up to Iran. I saw the headline the other day, says they're going to be sending troops in or whatever. Kudos to them. I'm glad they're not backing down. My advice, never ever take any crap off Iran. I don't want the United States doing it. I don't want South Korea doing it. I don't want any nation on earth to budge 1 inch for Iran, because Iran is a rogue state. It's no good. It's really done nothing but cause trouble and problems for hundreds of years. You know, the Roman Empire went to war with Parthia. Iran was known as Parthia back in those days. Iran, uh, being known as Parthia, stayed at war with the Roman Empire for over 600 years. That's ridiculous. Iran has always been a thorn in the side of the West, and I blame Jimmy Carter a lot for that, because he had his chance as president to fight a war with Iran. He could have decimated Iran if he had wanted to. And he should have done a ground invasion and got the hostages and rebuilt Iran with an American style government and freedom of religion and all of that stuff, just like we have here in this country, and capitalism. And he should have set laws and stuff into place in Iran after it had been conquered, to make Iran more secular and less religious over time, because Iran basically is a theocracy, and that's no good. You can't just be a theocracy. There's got to be a secular government with lots of freedom for the people and capitalism, and out of that combination you get prosperity, you get scientific growth, you get technological growth, and you get great achievements. Jimmy Carter, he could have conquered Iran and then made it great if he had wanted to. He didn't want to, and that's one of his many problems, aside from being an ineffective leader. He just couldn't do it. But I'd also like to say I'm very disappointed in the House for re-electing Nancy Pelosi as their speaker. This is ridiculous, people. Have you ever seen the slums in Nancy Pelosi's district out in California? You should Google that. It's ridiculous. These people are living in tent cities, and in some cases not even tent cities. They're like separate from the main city. They're living on tents literally on the street corners and in the middle of the streets in some cases, and it's just ridiculous. And they keep on voting for Nancy Pelosi, who couldn't care less about them. Makes no sense whatsoever. You know, when you got leadership like that, what could you possibly lose by electing a Republican? I would say absolutely nothing. And I think that'll pretty much do it for today's episode. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. Tell a friend. You know, I'm going to be sharing my political opinions on YouTube. Thank you very much, guys.